Welcome to season 2 of Where Passion Meets Purpose. I'm your host, Jen Mentasana. Each week, I sit down with entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and trailblazers who share their raw, real stories of perseverance, resilience, and building a life and business with impact. We talk about everything from entrepreneurship and family to purpose and living fully. My goal is to inspire you to start that dream, push through the hard seasons, and wake up every single day ready to live the life you were born to live with passion and purpose. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I am coming to you today with a special episode. It's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I wanted to share the concept of leadership with all of you today. I think when all of us think about the word leader or leadership, we think about this strong, kind of maybe more demanding, loud personality type of person that's really getting people to follow them. You're leading and others are following. But the kind of leadership I'm talking about is leadership with connection. And I think that is something that is so needed in today's world. It's becoming more prevalent in today's society. We're hearing things all the time about being able to connect with others better, how on social media or in other places we're not feeling the connection and we need to really see people for who they are. And that's the kind of leadership that I'm talking about. When I was growing up, I never saw myself as a leader. I was always someone who was quiet, or at least, post 5 years old, I was pretty outgoing until 5 or 6 years old, but I started to get quiet and I definitely didn't put myself out to be in leadership roles at all. I would dip my toe into little things here and there, but I would be the secretary of the class or the vice president of the class. I never really felt like I was the type of person that was designed to be a leader. And as I've grown and I've learned more about myself and my values and how I work with others, I realize that leadership is so much more about how you empower others than how you actually take people down a path. It's about shining a light on the gifts and the talents of the people that you're working with. So whether that be, your employees or your family or even friends, it's how you're shining a light on who they are and what they can offer the world. That is what true leaders do. And the best way that you can do that is to show up with authenticity, with who you innately are, and be authentic and show your vulnerability to the people that you're working with. So for example, my husband and I own a restaurant business. When we go in and we talk to our employees, we are always asking them how we can serve them better, what they need from us. We don't know all of the answers. We're asking for them to give us guidance on what they think is needed in the restaurant space. If we're struggling with, maybe some staffing issues or some service issues, we have staff that will share with us, hey, here's something that's going on. Here's what I think we need to do about it. And we sit back and listen. Listening is such an important tool in leadership. If you're constantly telling your employees or your family, your kids, what to do without listening and letting them be heard, then you're not leading. You're just forcing something, an agenda upon them. But if you really want to get the reaction out of the people that work for you or the people that you're surrounded by, hear them. Let them speak. Listen to what they're saying. Take in what they're saying and really see them for who they are. There was a quote today. I was on a webinar with John Gordon. It was so powerful. And there was a quote today that said, respect others for who they are and not what they do. So if you're constantly rewarding someone because of how they're performing, you're giving them a performance-based value of themselves versus the value of seeing them for who they truly are. And so instead of rewarding constant performance, how about rewarding how they show up authentically, how they put their best foot forward every single day, how they show up and support their teammates. Seeing people will help them want to be more a part of your team and grow, and they will follow you because that you are making them feel seen. Helping people feel seen is the most powerful thing that you can do in leadership. I think it was Maya Angelou that said, people will remember what you said, but they will never forget the way you made them feel. Think about that for a second. So if you can take the time out in your day to hear what your child is saying to you in the car on the way home from school and not be caught up with whatever your to-do list is going on, but really listening to how their day was, asking them questions and being engaged in the conversation, you are leading them to follow you in how you treat others and how they are going to eventually treat others and how they're going to lead in the future. So it's really important that we kind of shift this idea of leadership from kind of being this bravado, loud, do as I say, not as I do kind of mentality into putting the focus on others as opposed to yourself. It's not about how far you've come. Yes, we all want to celebrate our wins. We all want to celebrate all the hard work we've done to get to where we are. But powerful leaders know that empowering their employees, empowering their teams, and empowering their families is how to lead with effectiveness and authenticity. And so getting back to this word authenticity, I really kind of just wanted to hone in on this a little bit more. I think I posted about this last week, showing up with no makeup on social media, which I rarely ever do. I've always had a thing, and most of my friends know growing up, I would never leave the house without mascara on or lip gloss or maybe even a little blush because that's just who I was. And I always had this idea of the image and the person you put out there is what people see, when really you're hiding who you authentically are if you're wearing that mask constantly and you're not really showing up as who you are. And I'm not saying don't wear makeup. I love makeup. I love looking as the best that I possibly can. But it's really about not using that as your mask, not using that as your identity for how people see you, allowing the real you to show up in every single situation. I was on a call with a client, I think it was last week, talking about how she didn't know if we have this mastermind group and this meet and greets at my home. And she didn't know if people really saw her for the real her, that how was she showing up and really showing her authentic self because she wasn't fully allowing herself to be vulnerable and to be seen. And that's sometimes hard, but the moment that we do that, the moment that we let go of the need to have control of how others see us and we just allow our true authentic self to be seen, that's the moment that other people can connect with you. Connection is the creation of all opportunity. People don't want to work with people they can't connect with. People want to work with people that they like, that they feel a connection with. Think about it in any situation, whether that be business or your social circles, or even your friends. If you have friends that are kind of surface friends and it's great, okay, that's nice. It's a nice friendship, right? And we have a nice time together and we may have some chat and coffee talk, but are we really connecting? Are we really seeing each other for who we really are? And the ultimate gift in life is to create connection for one another, connection beyond just the surface stuff, beyond just transactional relationships where I'm getting something from you and you're getting something from me. In business, my true goal is to truly build authentic relationships and connections with every single person that I work with, every single client that I work with, every single audience that I speak to, even on this podcast. I am sitting here today because I feel like this message needs to be heard. I want to make a connection with you right now to say, how are you showing up as a leader? Are you showing up authentically? Are you showing up with vulnerability? Believe me, if you think that your employees aren't going to follow you because you show vulnerability, they're actually just disconnected from you. They don't have relatability with you because you can't show up and show them that you can be vulnerable. And if you are able to do that with them, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. That goes for every team, friend, family member, you name it. Being real, think about how many times we could say to our kids, don't do that. I did this, but don't do that. However, if you said, mom did that once too. I messed up. I got in big trouble and it wasn't fun. And let your kids see you for really you. It might open up a dialogue you could have never had, as opposed to pointing the finger or just leaving it at don't do that because I said so. Creating connection builds trust. And it is the one thing that we have on this earth, human to human, that we can do that's beyond anything that any other species can do. We have the ability to connect on a level even beyond
day-to-day communication. We can actually, I've read about this and it's so powerful, and I would love to get to a topic about this sometime and maybe interview the author of this book that I read. There is such a connection that with some people, and see this in twins, they are so connected and so aligned and so spiritually aligned and connected is the only words I can think of, that they actually know what the other one is thinking in any given moment. They are almost communicating telepathically. That's a level of communication that human beings can get to. And if we can start out just by showing up authentically and being of service to one another, we can start to build that connection. Then it opens up other lines of communication that can build relationships beyond anything that you've ever imagined. So I really just wanted to hone in on this importance of leading with empowerment, for seeing others for who they are and not what you expect of them and not what you expect them to do, but who they really are. Because again, I'll make this point, if you see them for who they are, they feel seen, and then they want to do more for you. And in the end, everybody wins. So I hope this message was helpful for you. All of us are leaders, guys, whether we're leading our teams, we're leading our families, we're leading a group of friends in a certain conversation, we all need leadership skills. And the number one skill to a powerful leader is being able to see others and help shine a light on their gifts and talents. All right, that's my message for today. I am so grateful to all of you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for following the show, for downloading it each week, for listening. And please reach out to me and let me know if there's any important topics that you would love to hear on the show, or any specific guests that you think would be helpful to your life and what you're working on. All right, see you soon.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this episode beneficial. And if you feel compelled to do so, share it with a friend who might benefit too. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Reach out to me anytime on my website at jenmentasana.com.